It's been 2 days since Michaela has a fever. I do hope it's a normal fever, but it's worrying that she's not playing like she used to and she's losing appetite when it comes to eating lunch. What should I do? Hi everyone, welcome back with me 𝗙𝗲𝘃𝗲𝗏 in Ask Me Doctor Season 4, a health video series for you and your family. So a fever in babies can be one of the scariest symptoms for parents, and especially when it comes to newborns and they're like a few weeks old only and you don't know what to do, especially because they're so fragile, so small, and these are one of the symptoms that we worry so much as parents. Just to clarify, a fever usually means that the body is fighting an illness and the immune system is working. Today we are going to have a pediatrician to help us to answer the questions submitted by the parents out there. Our guest doctor today is a pediatrician from Dr. Chin Child Specialist Clinic, who is also a father of 3+1, expecting a newborn, right?
Yes.
And so please welcome Dr. Chin Wai Seong. Hello Dr. Chin, how are you? Thank you so much for joining for our show today.
I'm good. Thanks for inviting me. I hope I can share my knowledge and experience to all the young parents, especially the children with fever.
So are you ready, doctor?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
yep.
so let's start. So let's
Alright.
draw our first question from this spot right here.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, we have so many questions.
Okay,
Let's draw
so many
one.
questions from the parents. Okay. Okay, there, 𝗙𝗲𝘃𝗲𝗏, you go.
So the first question is, what is the first thing that I should do if my child has a fever? Okay, to be honest, my little Michaela actually experienced a fever and I got so worried because I didn't know what to do. It's like, do I just cool her off? Do I bring her to the doctor? And you know, I think as a parent, we are not really well educated on this. Would you be able to explain?
Yeah, I think first of all, the parent, when you suspect your child some kind of feverish body, the child's cranky, crying, first thing you must do, you must make sure the child's already fever. How? Not going to use your hand and touch, you know. Oh, people will say touch. Oh, look like fever, look like not, you know. Sometimes like this will quarrel, you know, among the parents.
Definitely.
So you must use the most reliable thermometer to check. Okay. There are few methods, right? Few different kind of thermometers. For example, the one to show at the forehead, the one at the ear. The most classical one is put in the armpit or the below the tongue. That one also okay, but now it's already digitalized. But only thing you must know the advantages and disadvantages of every different type of a thermometer. If you were to ask me, I think for home use, I think the best, which is also economical, affordable, I think the one with the ear will be good. Okay? But you must know the technique. So the first thing the parent must know, okay, whether the child is having the fever or not. Yeah, then you don't simply say, oh, the child got fever, no fever. Then at the end, you don't know what to do.
Yeah, so we have to verify the fever first with a thermometer, right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, alright, that's good to know. So first of all, we have to verify whether if it's a real fever or if it's not. You know, it could be a false fever for what we care for, right?
Yeah, like for those children just come back from the hot sun, right? Or maybe a bit dehydrated, not enough water. Hey, you feel warm, no? Sometimes not. Maybe the mother's hand feel warm. It's the other way around.
That's true,
so
that's
I think
true.
the most important, the reliable thermometer that you must use.
Thank you so much for sharing. I guess that's where I need to get a thermometer for myself. Like, I am guilty for always checking it with my hands.
Yes, I always urge the parent, whoever family have a children, okay? You have a handphone, the children must have a thermometer at home all the
Right.
while.
Thank you so much for being so informative. So jumping into our next question, would you be able to draw one question from
Okay,
the
one
pot?
more question. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Lisa, you read for me then.
Let me see. Okay, so the
Okay.
second question we have would be, is it true that 37.1 Celsius to 37.8 Celsius are low-grade fevers and I should not be worried?
I always tell parents as well, when we are caught for the speed trap, for example, you must have a definition. They mean the reading, okay?
Right.
If you speed more than 110 km per hour, okay, you have got the speed trap. So
Yeah.
fever also the same thing, the definition. Okay, usually we'll take 37.5 as a cutoff point. Okay, so 37.5 and above considered fever. Okay,
37.5.
and above, that means 37.6. Okay, then when the fever come to 38, that one we call moderate fever.
Alright.
Okay, that means before 38, that means 37.6 to 37.9 considered low grade fever.
Okay.
Okay, once the body temperature reaches the 38, okay, 38 to 38.9, we call moderate fever.
38 to 38.9.
Yes,
Okay,
and
that's
once the
moderate.
temperature reaches the 39, we consider high fever.
Alright, thank you so much for sharing with us, doctor. Now we know the different grades of fevers to be aware about, especially when our child has a fever. Let's go into our third question.
Third question.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Alright, so...
Okay,
Yeah,
I
would
got
you
it.
like the
Yes.
question?
Okay, now you go, you read for me.
When should I be worried and what temperature and after how many days my child is having a fever? I think this is something I can relate to because once they have a fever, how long should the fever actually go on? Can I just take care of her at home, or should I be recommended to actually bring her to a doctor to actually really verify the fever?
First of all, you must know the fever, the first 2 days when our body has an infection from the enemy attacking the body. So our immune system will try to fight back, that causing the fever. So you expect the fever will be very high for the first 2 days, okay? But as long as a child is active, not dehydrated, means the child still active, saliva still a lot, passing out a lot of urine, not much cranky and irritable, you can hold on first. Okay, so the fever story goes on by day 3. Sometimes the day 3 fever still spiking high. Then I'll be worried. Okay. Then another story they must know, parents must know, until the day 5, the fever doesn't settle. Okay, which we will expect viral fever. Let the child go and fight with their own immune system. Okay, first 2 days fighting. Wow, great. Never mind. The immune system is at work. Okay, day 3 still high spiking. I think you should anxious and worried to see a doctor. Another one is the day 5, the fever unsettled, should see a doctor. But having said that, in these 5 days, the child suddenly shows kind of sign of dehydration, which I mentioned, right? Sign of a meningitis, which drowsy, crying, right? Or they have other symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea.
Oh, that sounds scary.
Yes, the last keyword I would like to say is like out of sudden middle of the night, 2-3 a.m., the child suddenly wake up from sleep, crying, and really there's a fever. You might not need rush the child to the emergency just for the sake of the fever. So you must, what I think parents should have paracetamol. Then you must know the measurement, which is based on the body weight. So I think parents, when you want to become a parent, you must equip some basic knowledge how to tackle the children's common illnesses. Which fever is not illness, it's a symptom. Then you won't so panic, helpless, don't know what to do. At the end, also sometimes parents will cry and become so restless.
I know, especially when they cry, I panic, I get anxious, I don't know what to do.
So you don't just judge the child from one symptom. You should judge the child as an overall picture.
Alright, jumping into our next question.
Ding! Okay, now you read for me.
What kinds of drinks and food should I feed my child when she is having a fever? I do have the same question because sometimes they lose appetite when they have fever because it's very uncomfortable, they feel very heaty, and it's actually very challenging as a parent to actually feed them something because they need the energy, but at the same time they don't have appetite. So what would you advise on this?
First, you must know when the child is fighting the germ, our whole system a bit slower, in working, including the gut system, the digestive system. So the child might not feel hungry, So parents don't be so worried the whole day the child doesn't eat, it's okay. They still have a glucose from their fat, from other tissue to supply the glucose. The most important thing is the hydration, the water intake. So I always tell the parent, if they do this, it's okay, save your money. But most important, to hydrate the child. Then hydrate the child with white fluid. Actually, that one will be quite linear. Whatever child wants to drink, go ahead. But try to avoid canned drink, which is carbonated drink. Which I mentioned, when fever, the tummy also brutal, digestive system is lower, so digestion not good. Sometimes you take a carbonated drink will make them tend to vomit. If the child want to take some fruit juice, yogurt drink, or your herbal tea, whatever, go ahead. But most important, don't be so fast, they might tend to vomit.
Alright, so small portion.
Small amount, more frequent. Then how to assess the child really good hydration? Saliva. Urine output still a lot, then you check, like for example, you change the diaper for baby as frequent as normal. You like the 4-5 hours still dry, that's not a good sign. Then still active. Then another question, parent might ask me, Doctor, I heard old people say fever cannot take porridge. It's also not the true story because whatever actually they can take, but you must make the food become more watery, easy to be digested. Something I mentioned, like soft diet, cereal is no harm. Only thing old people have this thinking because they think you take the rice or this to make it more heaty, make the fever higher.
Right.
What I want to say is, you make the rice, make it more watery, porridge, cereal, so easy for child to digest. In fact, this is another source of fluid for the child.
As well, especially when it comes to porridge.
Yes.
So porridge should be good, fruits would be good.
Yes.
So any other drinks are fine. Fruit juice, water,
Yeah.
tea. Avoid carbonated drinks, right?
Yes, you are right. Give some choice and none the child to make the decision.
Alright, so we're down to our last question for today. Would you be able to draw the last question?
Okay, last question.
Yes, last question is always exciting. How many days should I expect the fever to go away completely?
Alright, generally speaking, okay, I will advise parents to monitor the fever. You must go along the fever like a roller coaster, okay? Up, down is expected. You don't simply like take my fever medicine like nearly cure. It won't. So the fever will up, down. The management also the same, okay?
Right.
You give a appropriate dose of oral medicine. So parents must go along this fever management, the roller coaster, fever story, which just now I mentioned. Day 3, that's a critical. Coming down is good sign. Not so spiking high and less frequent. Day 4, day 5. So day 5, the fever shall settle. If not, bring the child to see doctor. Then we might do further investigation and checking. In conclusion, day 5 is a critical point. The child must have the fever settle. If not, bring the child to see doctor. But in between these 5 days, when the parents suspect the child have other symptoms, okay, the most important like symptoms such as meningitis, kind of dehydration. Yeah, because of vomit, diarrhea, cannot drink water totally. The child is like kind of unreasonable, crying, cranky. Then the last, anxious parent don't know what to do. Panic. Better see the professional for advice. Then you don't wait until day 5.
Parents out there, don't panic until day 5. You should be able to control the fever at home with a thermometer. So invest in a thermometer.
Yes, you're right.
Alright, so thank you so much, doctor. Before we end today's episode, is there any advice you would like to share with the parents out there?
When you prepare to get married, I'm sure you're going to prepare to give birth to a child, a baby, okay? Don't just like welcome a baby with nice clothing, mitten, whatever. Equip yourself with a parenting skill, including how to treat the common illnesses, how to become a good father, good mother, all the parenting skills.
I would have to say that you guys are doing a good job by watching this video already to actually equip yourself with the right knowledge to take care of your child. Alright, thank you so much, Dr. Chin, for your time and for sharing the knowledge today. We hope you enjoyed today's program, and for more information on health-related videos for you and your family, be sure to stay tuned on Ask Me Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in today's show. I'm 𝗙𝗲𝘃𝗲𝗃.
I'm Dr. Chin, consultant pediatrician.
And this is 𝗕𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗃.com.my. Bye!
Bye-bye!